What were the allegations of fraud in the 2019 election? Have you ever wondered how a single election can change the course of a nation? The 2019 Bolivian presidential election is a prime example of this. It was filled with serious allegations of fraud that shook the country and the region. The controversy kicked off when the official vote count was unexpectedly paused for about 24 hours after the polls closed. This pause raised eyebrows among opposition groups and international observers, leading to suspicions of foul play. When the counting resumed, the results showed a sudden and significant increase in votes for Evo Morales, allowing him to surpass the 10 percentage point margin needed to avoid a runoff election. Specific allegations of fraud began to surface. One major claim was the manipulation of vote tallies. There were accusations that tally sheets were altered or even forged, with signatures of polling station officials being falsified. This raised serious questions about the integrity of the vote counting process. Another significant issue was data irregularities. An audit by the Organization of American States reported that data from the election was redirected to unauthorized servers. This made it possible for someone to manipulate the results digitally, which is a serious breach of electoral trust. Statistical anomalies also played a role in the allegations. The Organization of American States noted that the sudden increase in Morales's vote share after the counting resumed was statistically unlikely. This suggested that tampering might have occurred during the vote count suspension. Moreover, there were accusations of failures in the chain of custody. This means that the handling of ballots and electoral materials did not follow proper procedures, which increased the risk of fraud. Some electoral acts even reportedly showed that the ruling party received more votes than the number of registered voters in certain areas, which is alarming. These findings led the Organization of American States to call for the annulment of the election results and new elections, citing clear manipulations in the voting system. The political crisis escalated quickly, leading to protests, deaths, and ultimately, Morales's resignation under pressure from the military and opposition forces. However, the allegations remain contested. Subsequent analyses have questioned the methodology and transparency of the Organization of American States. Some researchers pointed out errors, such as excluding certain vote tallies and misordering data timestamps, which could have influenced the fraud claims. They argue that the evidence of fraud was not conclusive and that political motivations may have influenced how the audit was interpreted. From a broader perspective, this episode reflects deep divisions over democracy, sovereignty, and external influence in Latin America. Evo Morales, as Bolivia's first indigenous president, symbolized social justice and indigenous rights for many. The fraud allegations and his ousting were seen by some as a setback for indigenous political empowerment and a reminder of the fragility of democratic institutions in the region. The crisis highlighted tensions between national sovereignty and the roles of international organizations in electoral oversight. Understanding these allegations requires recognizing the complex interplay of electoral procedures, political power struggles, and cultural identity in Bolivia and Latin America during this period. The 2019 election controversy remains a significant event that illustrates challenges to democratic governance and social justice in the region.